Scottie Scheffler wins the PGA Championship, but there's no time to wait. We march right on to the Charles Schwab Challenge, which Scottie Scheffler's going to win too. Fairway to Heaven, we're back, and we are live in 30 seconds. And a very good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fairway to Heaven right here on the STT Sports Network. Wherever you're watching, please do me that favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please share it out. I'd greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it as we continue to grow this great channel, the STT Sports Network. So like, share, subscribe. It's literally the only thing you'll do today that's free. Everything else you'll do, including making bets and DFS lineups off of our advice today, will not be free. The only thing that's free is liking this video and subscribing to the channel, guys. And for all those people watching on Twitter, please head on over to the YouTube page linked in the bio and hit subscribe over there. I'd greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. I am your host, Phil Stiefel, as always. And as always, I got my two main men here, Jason Sullivan and Steven Fuentes. Good evening, gentlemen. Jason, how you doing today?
Dude, we're back. Another major in the books. Yeah. Lacked a little bit of excitement, like as we were talking about pre-show. But yeah, we're back. Another Scottie week.
Yeah, Steven, we go. You just said it before we went live. We go from Scottie winning the major to Scottie winning another event down in Texas. You know, I mean, it's just part of the course right now, right?
Yeah, he's found his groove since going crazy at the it was the Byron, right? Byron Nelson when he went, and now he's back in Texas, and now it's like we're microscope in his achievements, and he's trying to go for what they call it the Texas Slam now. So it's like we're having to make things to go and make this watchable for when Scottie's dominating like this.
We're going to save the Scottie Scheffler boringness for the end of the show, but I do want to recap the PGA Championship, and obviously Scottie Scheffler won it. It ended up being 5. I think he bogeyed that last hole, so I think it was 5 strokes that he won it by. But you said it, Jason, a very boring PGA Championship because the event was there to be won by anybody. Anybody could have won that event. There are multiple opportunities for Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and countless others to overtake Scottie Scheffler, but none of them could do it. And Scottie Scheffler just stayed the course, did his same traditionally boring thing and just pipe and drives down the fairway and hitting greens and 1 or 2 putt every hole and just making birdies when he could. And doesn't make mistakes, doesn't let a mistake rattle him. Why do you think it was boring? Is it because Scottie Scheffler just nobody could catch him, or because Scottie Scheffler couldn't make the mistakes to let other people catch him?
Kind of a little bit of both. I think Steve and I were talking on, I think it was Friday or Saturday. We were just talking about like the leaderboard was like horrible, like Gerard, Vegas. Like obviously those guys aren't bad golfers, but you don't want to see that in a major. Like we wanted to see Rory and Scottie and Bryson and all those guys. And like, to their credit, Bryson fought back on Saturday. He was right there. Scottie had an amazing Saturday. Obviously, Rahm came back. He was right there. Like you said, could have won too. We just wanted to see somebody really challenge him, I think. And like Rahm got close, but like never really put the pressure on him. And Scottie really on Sunday really didn't even play that great. He just didn't really have to play that great because nobody was really pushing him too well. So just kind of lacked the excitement. We didn't have like I want to see like a head-to-head almost like, him and Rahm going at it or something.
Wanted to see him feel pressure from somebody else on the leaderboard that might have made him have to take a chance or made him make a mistake. Right, Steven?
Yeah, and that was getting ready to be one of my points was, besides Rahm, when you looked at that leaderboard, even on Sunday, there was so much movement behind Scottie that it was like, man, none of these guys, you're looking just at the name. You didn't even need to look at like, well, how are they shooting today? Right. It was like, well, that guy's not even going to get, even if he does get close, Scottie's going to look up at the leaderboard and be like, all right, let me turn it on even more. And it was what made it even more boring for me was how so many golfers after just Thursday were out of it because of the weather. And I'm with Scottie and how he said, I don't know why they didn't play Preferred Lies on Thursday. I get it. It's a major, but if you want these guys at the best of their best on a course like this, on a stage like this, you know what? If you don't want to do it for this week, fine. But a lot of guys were taken out on Thursday, and the conditions were still so bad Friday that they couldn't get to the cut line. And I think that is what took away some excitement for me heading into the weekend.
I think that's a fair point. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think part of it too was the course. I think a lot of the time in the majors, obviously not Augusta, but the other majors, we see a rotation. We're seeing courses that we don't see all the time, like Quail Hollow. I mean, it's a nice course. Obviously, I'm not trying to shit on it, but it's not.
No, you are.
There was nothing exciting about, you know what I mean? Like we see it every year. It's not like Bethpage or like some of these courses that we don't see very often. So it was a little bit that plus the weather, like Steve said. Like I mean, the weather kind of put a wrench on it too. So
kind of feel like there was a lot more drama around the event than actual event drama. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Like the drama with the course, the drama with the mud balls, the drama with the drivers being ineligible with Rory and Scottie and all that, but not enough drama from the players. And I mean, who out there actually thought when Johnny Vegas was in the lead that he was actually going to hold the lead, right? Like Scottie could have been 10 shots behind Johnny Vegas. He might have been, honestly, at some point. And nobody thought that Johnny Vegas was going to win that. I kind of feel bad for him because once he took that lead, I was watching him on Saturday, and he couldn't put 4 great rounds together at this kind of a course. Go ahead, Steven.
I think he was like 7 shots behind him when Johnny, he double bogeyed 18, and then he opened up Saturday with bogey. So I mean, instantly it was, and that's what I mean. It's like you looked at the leaderboard kind of all throughout. I was laughing at what was that one site, Golf Tips the Checker, and how they said, look at what what this looks like. You know, all the people. It's one of the most scarce, you know, posts they've put. And then I saw your post, but it was true. It was, you hate that that's what it was for a major, but this field isn't too bad this week. So hopefully bounce back at the Schwab.
Soldier Steve has the best hair. I mean, he's the only one on social shows like this that's got a man bun growing right now, Colin. That's all I can say about that. So real quick, before we get into the Colonial, or to Colonial Country Club and the Charles Schwab today, to break that down, Jason, I want you to, because you were listening to the whole thing before the show, obviously there was driver issues, and Rory had his driver non-conforming. Turns out Scottie did too, and a couple other golfers did too. A, I want you to explain what happened there, but B, why is it that in golf we don't know anything? We don't get any information. I was telling you about this before. You know, in baseball, we know about suspensions. We know about fines in football. Golfers get fined. Golfers get in trouble. They don't. There's no transparency with golf to the fans of golf, which is actually a big gambling sport, which you would think there needs to be more of that transparency.
Yeah, there isn't transparency. And then, of course, the name that gets leaked out by whoever leaked it out, somebody did, is Rory first. Obviously, Scottie was too. But actually, there was, from what I heard, there was 10 golfers whose drivers were flagged. Yeah. It's also not what you think it is. It's not necessarily cheating. This just happens to clubs that people use over time. And like Michael Kim was one of the guys that came out on Twitter, and he said it. He's like, you know, I've been flagged a few times. He's like, it just happens. He's like, this isn't. But I think the thing that was weird about it was that it was Rory's name that was leaked out. It's just like, the PGA Tour wasn't their event, so it wasn't obviously them that did it. But someone did it. And it just seems like this is Rory's always the fall guy. And I think he kind of would, I wasn't the first person to say this, but I agree with this point, is that him not talking to the media wasn't a pissed off thing. It wasn't anything. It was a basically stick up the middle finger to whoever leaked it. I'm not giving you any publicity. Everybody wants to hear me talk. I'm not going to do it.
So A, why is there no transparency? And B, why do they only, if they're going to test drivers, I was talking with somebody the other day about this. If they're going to test drivers and clubs, why don't they test everybody? Why are they testing 1/3 of a field? Like, that makes no sense to me, Steven.
For wrestling, right? Doesn't every wrestler get weighed in beforehand? Why can't there, you know, when you check in, hand your bag off? Or isn't there something your caddy can do to, hey, golfers go here to check in, caddies come over here? I mean, we're checking pitchers' gloves after every single inning. I mean, there's there's ways that they can do this. And is this not why golfers bring an extra driver for these sort of circumstances? So I don't necessarily think it's cheating, and I'm with you, Jason. I don't blame him at all for not talking to the media and being like, no, like doesn't that show his freedom too from winning the Masters? How he's just like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm not gonna.
But it kind of shows too. It's like having that leaked out there is almost like, I don't know. I just feel like it kind of shows that how shitty the whole process is. It's like the fact that some people didn't get leaked out. Everybody doesn't get tested, which I agree with you. Everyone should get tested, but it's just like, his name got leaked, and he's always seems to be the guy that's the fall guy. And now it's, the question. At first, I thought he was just kind of being a big baby. I'm like, he's pissed off about this. He's salty. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, no, he's kind of right. Like, I would be pissed off too. And the transparency is the weird part about it. Everything, like even with injuries too, it's the same thing.
I love Rashad, and we love Rashad, and Rashad will be on next week, guys. But I disagree. I don't think it's too time consuming in the resources. We're talking about billion-dollar companies. Football is worth $10 billion. Golf is worth how much money? It's not going to cost them that much more money to just test every club for every golfer. It really isn't that big of a deal, honestly. And I want the transparency with fines. Like Shane Lowry slammed his club down. He will get fined this week for that. But we won't know anything about it. If it was Happy Gilmore, we'd know all about his fine. Right. But Shane Lowry, we don't know about his fine.
I loved when afterwards, like when he realized it, how he was like patting it down, like, God damn it. Like,
yeah.
He took a good chunk out.
I think he flicked off the hole too, didn't he?
He did. He dropped the bird to the hole too. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
And why couldn't
they ended up making bogey or whatever?
Golfers get there like on Tuesday, some on Monday. Why can't you be checking? Are these going to be the clubs you're playing with and everything like that? So there's ways that they can go about it. They just don't want to.
All right, well, we'll close the PGA Championship with this comment from Colin. Quail Hollow sucked. Didn't feel like a major week. Did it suck because of the course, guys? Did it suck because of the weather affecting the event? Did it suck because of the weather costing big names like Shane Lowry, Patrick Reed, missing the cut? Why did it? If you had to power rank the reasons why it sucked, what would it be? Sorry, I got a cough drop in my mouth here. Almost just spit it out here. Why did it suck the most to you, Jason?
Weather won, I think. Honestly, the weather being the way it was took the firmness out of the course. If that course would have played really firm and fast, I think we would have had a whole different thing. I think number two is the fact that it's Quail Hollow again. It's the same course. We're seeing it all the time like that, and it's just, I don't think it's necessarily the course that sucked. I just think it didn't feel like a major. We see this course all the time. We didn't have that major feel. And I have another point to kind of ask your guys' opinion about. It gets kind of annoying, I feel like, that every major 7,500 yards, 7,600 yards. Like, why don't we have like a tough 7,200 yard course that's a par 70? That, like, why does everything have to be such a long course for the majors, I guess?
I think that's a fair question. I don't have the answer to that, but I think it goes to everything in sports. Offense, home runs,
right.
Passing in football, 3-point shots in basketball. It's all about the number. In golf, it's who can hit the ball the furthest. Everyone wants to see Bryson
Rory
overpowering the course. They want to see Rory hit 3 woods from 400 yards away on a par 5. That's what they want. Right, Steven?
Especially this last week when they're able to, I forget which hole it was, but I mean, even Fitzpatrick was doing it, blasting it over the trees onto the fair or to the green on that one par 4. When Homa eagle got that eagle where, I mean, that was a beautiful shot on him, but I think that it is what they want to see. It's the Steph Curry step back 3. It's the Mahomes, air it out to Tyreek or whoever he is thrown to. But it's unfortunate because I do think it's the weather. I mean, all we got leading up to it was Hideki swinging like Bryson out there in the rain and playing, right? So
yeah.
I absolutely loved it. But I will say this, and that's a great segue to this week at Charles Schwab. Do not play Hideki Matsuyama this week because he probably effed that back up. Trying to swing like Bryson.
He's withdrawing.
Yeah. The dude withdraws with back issues at least twice a year.
Yep.
This is a week that he's going to WD because of that practice swing right there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Look, we can close the book on the PGA Championship. We'll come back to Scottie Scheffler to close the show. There's a poll question in the YouTube page. For anybody watching on Twitter, We got a poll going on YouTube right now, and we'll answer that question at the end of the show. But let's move on this week. We are the Charles Schwab Challenge here, Colonial Country Club, another very, very traditional course that we know. When I say traditional, I mean we know a lot about it. It's a very, repetitive course that we've seen year in and year out down there in Fort Worth, Texas. So, Jason, what is Colonial Country Club? What are the golfers going to face? And what kind of challenges are they going to face on it?
Yeah, 7,289 yards, par 70, bent grass greens. There are 80 bunkers on the course, Bermuda rough, which plays pretty straight up from everything I'm reading. 4 water hazards and play on 6 holes. Usually pretty baked out and windy course. Obviously, the temperatures are really hot there. You don't really have much rain or anything. Obviously, the wind is going to be a big factor. It always is here, so that's something to monitor as the week goes on. One little note is that there's only 135 players in the field, so obviously the percentage of people that are going to make the cut is going to be higher this week for sure.
Yeah, when you have that smaller field, you want to really be making sure you're getting 6 out of 6 with your lineups because of that. Steven, what do you got to add about Colonial Country Club there?
4 par 3s and only 2 par 5s. And, your par 5s is where you're going to be able to really get your birdies from. If you can go out and get those and you make the cut and you get those all weekend, or you get 6 out of 8, and then 3 out of the par 3s are all under 200. You got the one, the fourth hole is 248. So, this course, the way it's lined, tight fairways, small greens, you can put the driver away for a lot of these holes. So it's going to be, I like this course post major.
Me too.
Because it's a test. You get a cut. It's not another signature event like what we're used to seeing where now we're going to see everyone again and everything. So I think this is a good course. Some of these dog legs are going to, like I said, make some of these guys who are short are going to have a chance this week. So, that's what I got on the course.
One more little note to add to the course real quick. Course history matters a lot here. You've only seen one guy in the last 30 years win in his first trip here, and that was last year, Davis Riley. So something to be,
yeah. When a course is as predictable as Colonial is it is course. History does matter a lot.
Yep.
So this week there's only 2 golfers listed 10K and above. It's Tommy Fleetwood at 10K, and it's Scottie Scheffler at 13,700. Jason, you're always one to say they didn't get the pricing right. Did they get the pricing right at the top of the board today?
They did. I thought he might be 14,000, but I think I'm okay with the pricing. I just like the fact that there's not a 5K range. Like, it's really hard to build Scottie lineups, and that's what it should be, especially in a tournament like this where the guy's such a big favorite. It should be like this. They really make you make a decision. Like, do you want to start Scottie? And I think it's like, what is it, like 7,250 left per guy to start with Scottie? I mean, that's rough. So it makes you make the choice.
I mean, Scottie Scheffler, second the last 3 years here at this event, coming off the PGA Championship. And right now, lineup generator-wise, he's only in 33% of lineups. Is that because of the pricing? What kind of percentage do you think Scottie Scheffler, despite that price tag, could get to this week, Jason?
Did you see how much it dipped today? First off, it was at 49% generated lineups at like 2 o'clock. So I thought that was really interesting how much it dipped. If he's going to be similar to like Berger, I think that flips everything. But if he's going to be, I originally thought 50 to 55% easy. Okay. I think people are getting scared now, and I think they're flipping a little bit up the other way to build more balanced lineups. So
the question then goes, Steven, do you play Scottie Scheffler or not?
Yeah, so after this last week, I am now playing Scottie every week. I'm giving him the Christian McCaffrey, the Saquon treatment, and I'm putting him in, and then I am playing with my lineup and what I have after that, and kind of really having to do the research pretty much into what I'm doing here until Scottie tells me otherwise with his play to not play him.
So the thing is, if you play Scottie, that eliminates basically the 9K range from your lineups, right? Yeah. I mean, there isn't much in the bottom of the 6K. I mean, you got Michael Block out there. Again, you've got not Pavon, but Corey Pavin in the contest, who hasn't been on the PGA Tour in a decade. Yeah. Like, that's what you got down here, because it is an invitational type event. So it will make it very difficult, but which means you're going to have to really attack the upper 6K, the low 7K, and it's going to be Scottie and 5 guys at 7K, basically.
I think the question is not whether you're going to play Scottie or not. I think we all agree he's by far and away, that's the understatement of a lifetime, but by far and away the best golfer in this field, and everybody wants to play him. It's just a matter of, are you confident that you can build a good lineup? You're going to have to get 6 of 6 through, and can you do that playing Scottie? You're going to have to get at least 2 guys, maybe 3 in the 6Ks. So it's rough.
I mean, I kind of feel like you can't, and I kind of feel like you have to stay away from Scottie Scheffler this week on the DraftKings lineup side of things. Now, if you want to throw a single bullet and put all your, I don't even know what his odds are. I think they were like plus 2.5 or
250.
Yeah. Like if you want to throw your entire betting pool all on him, sure. If you want to go in the without Scottie markets, sure, go ahead. But I think on a DraftKings side of things, I think you can build a much more balanced lineup and get 6 of 6 through versus I also think it depends on how many contests you're playing. If you're playing 50, 100 contests, sure, you can mix it up a little bit. But if you're going to play 5 to 10 contests, it's going to be very difficult to get 50, 60% of your lineups with 5 out of 5 or 6 out of 6 if Scottie's the first one there.
And it shifted. The ownership matters a lot.
6.
The ownership matters a lot too. I mean, I think, like I said, he was almost 50% in lineups generated at 2:00 today. It's now down to 33, where Berger's at 30. It seems like a lot of people are going to start with Berger.
And here's the thing. Let me outside of Berger, who's at 9,900, who has won this event before, and I think he's rightfully, getting a lot of love this week. Fleetwood at 10K isn't getting much love this week in the ownership percentage. In the 9K range, because of how many people are going Scottie and Berger, everybody else, Jordan Spieth, Hideki, Mav, JT Poston, Bobby Mack. I can't believe Bobby Mack's that high on this board. Most of these guys in the middle 9K are getting ignored. It's Berger, then down to Aaron Rai. You know what I mean? So it's all over the place, kind of, with that whole range is skipped because of Scottie's price. And I think you could get a lot of great value by even skipping Berger on building lineups.
Yeah, I agree with you there, because I think those are going to obviously be your top 2 guys, right? And if you want to go balanced and stay away from high ownership and chalk, you can really go balanced with some of these low 9K guys in this range.
I want to answer this. I want to ask a question based off of this comment by Ken. Ken says, I think Scottie showed his downside struggling on the first 11 holes. He stepped up to finish it off. How much of it was that he has cracks in his armor, and just because of who missed the cut, there wasn't enough competition for him? And how much of it is there any kinks in his armor? Or I got this question in my head on this here, and I can't get the words out right.
I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah.
Were there kinks in his armor, or was it the competition not fierce enough to put the pressure on him?
Maybe a little bit of both, but I don't think there's chinks in the armor. I think we saw him play, like Steve said, on Thursday in really shitty conditions with mud balls, and he was talking about that. And now we find out that he didn't have his driver.
Still went 2 under.
Yeah, but it kind of felt like it was like the weirdest 2 under. Like it kind of felt like he shot like 3 over for the day. Like if you just watched it, you're like, wow, he didn't play that good. And then you're like, 2 under. I mean, that's pretty respectable still. It's like even when he's at his worst, his floor is so damn high. Like his floor in a golf tournament is T10 to T15. That's insane. I don't think there's chinks in the armor.
Okay, I think it's fair. Do you have anything to add to that, Steven, before we get on to the rest of this board here?
His round that he played that showed kinks in armor would have been 95% of that field's best round of
ever,
probably the 4. Yeah. Of the week. So he was able to then, and he fought the elements, he had an early golf, early Thursday tee time. So he fought with the elements more than half the field. So I think it was just more of the elements and Scottie was getting himself geared up. It was only Thursday.
All right. So taking ownership percentage, taking the stats, taking course history and tournament history into account, Steven, going from 9K all the way up to Scottie Scheffler, well, up to Tommy Fleetwood. Who's your favorite play in this range and why?
So besides, we already talked enough about Scottie.
Yeah.
I think Berger, it was the first event after COVID too that he won. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about too, is like, what was that field like? And everyone was kind of rusty, but I love two names. I love JT Poston and Harris English, two guys who had great weeks last week. Poston kind of trailed off at the end, but he gained over almost 5.5 strokes on approach. He's got 12 made cuts on tour, and Harris English, the dude has been. We've mentioned his name in every single field that's been an elite field, and mostly you two guys. Every time you mention his name in elite field, what? So he was T2 last week. He's been T18 and or better, and that's the Masters, RBC, PGA Championship. And this is another course where it could line up for him with strong approach play. And both of these guys, if their putters get hot, they can really, really, really do some damage. And I think they could win. And these guys, 9-4 and 9-2, can get you in that balanced sort of lineup that you were talking about.
I think too with English, I think those are courses that didn't necessarily fit him. Like, he's a short guy on a 7,600 yard course last week. Like, that wasn't his kind of course. This is his kind of course. So I agree.
Then why does he have such bad course history?
Right, which is weird. It doesn't make any sense.
So, like, two guys, when you talk about positional golf in this range, there's two guys that stick out. Harris English and Tommy Fleetwood.
I was going to say Rye
have
too.
Terrible. And who?
Rye too, I was going to say.
And Rye. Well, Rye has decent course history.
Yeah.
Fleetwood and Harris do not.
Weird.
So that's kind of making me skeptical about those two guys. Is if this weekend, Jason, this is quoting you. You said course history matters. Harris English has missed 2 of the 3 cuts. Two of the 3 times he's played here.
Another guy too, like dipping down a little bit lower, Siwoo. Like, you think this would be a Siwoo course, and I think he's missed 3 cuts in a row here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So it's weird.
Exactly. So, So Siwoo made the cut the last 2 times, but the 3 before that, he had missed. Right. He had missed cuts. I'm going to throw a couple other names here in this 9K range. Aaron Rye, who we just talked about. I love Aaron Rye this week. Maverick McNeely too. He's made the cut for the last 5 years here. He's got some good finishes here. I think Maverick McNeely's a really good play down here as well.
Agreed.
Yeah. Jason, any other names down here?
Too. He was another one who he was up there on the leaderboard for a while. You saw his name last week. So and he is another guy who can play well out of the bunkers. And Jason, you mentioned how many? There's 80?
80, yeah.
80 of them here. So, guys who can, play golf while they're on vacation on the beach. You need those guys. And he's another one of them. Spieth too, but I want to stay away from Spieth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm thinking I'm off the Spieth. I think I joined the league on the Spieth track talking range.
He's just not good. The approach game is just so bad.
Yeah, he's just so inconsistent at this point. All right, let's dip down to the 8K, Jason. What do you think of this 8K range? Where's your eyes going right off the bat?
There's a few guys in this range that I like. I actually do like Siwoo, even though his course history is a little bit spotty. Davis Riley's another guy. Like, we saw him win last year, but he's playing some good golf. And this guy, not last year, because last year he was god awful, but 2 years ago he showed that he looked like an up and coming golfer, that he had a lot of talent. And I still think, like, when he's rolling good, like he is right now, I'm going to play some Davis Riley this week too. This range is going to be pretty forgotten, I think, for the most part, because of people are going to start at the upper end, whether they do in the 9Ks or whether they do with Scottie. It's like this range might be a little bit forgotten. Harry Hall's another one that I like just because of how well he putts all the time, but especially on Bermuda. So that's interesting to me.
And I know I said close the book on the PGA Championship, but you mentioned Siwoo Kim. And I just love how Siwoo Kim was another one of those guys that was there. He was at the top of that leaderboard for a little stretch. But when he fell off the board and kind of fell apart, then he really got himself pumped up for some pars and birdies late in the game, just for the confidence didn't waver from Siwoo Kim. His personality, like the way he handled that failure, but then closed strong, kind of gave me some confidence in him going forward this year.
Did you guys see him smoking? He doesn't smoke. He said he was stressed out. He was smoking when he was walking down to get his ball one of the time. He's like, I don't even smoke. Like, what the hell?
Did not see that. And now I like him even more for that.
I know.
Steven, what do you got here in the 8K range?
So I have Ben Griffin T8 last week because of the approach play and the putter.
Yep.
And you need both of that here. And I'm going to go back to one of my guys, Brian Harmon. Since 2012, he's only missed the cut at this venue 2 times. And he's won in Texas already. Approach game, he's super accurate off the tee. He's short off the, he's one of those guys who can be short and super accurate and go out and win in a field like this. And then Lucas Glover, I think, too, for the same exact reasons.
Yep.
But Lucas Glover, his putter, for the same reason I'm a little nervous about Aaron Rye, is why I'm a little nervous about Lucas Glover, is because of the putter. But if they can get hot with the putter, this is the sort of these are the sort of greens that they can spike with the putter. So,
gotcha. All right, let's jump down to let's jump down to the 7K range, because I think there's some great value in the 7K range, especially in the upper end of it, because I think the ownership again is going to be very light in the top end of this range here. Guys like Alex Smalley, Thorpe, however you say his name, I don't even want to try right now to say it. Christian Bezuidenhout, names like that. The top portion of the 7K range, I think there's some great value in this range, Jason.
100% agree with you. Ryan Gerard's my favorite. I don't love guys, obviously, like we said earlier, that haven't played here before. But this dude, I mean, it's just a classic example. If he putts well, which you've seen him putt, I think it was Valero, where he just lit it up with the putter. And this dude's elite tee to green. He just can't really putt. So I like him a lot this week. I think this range.
Hold on, real quick. Can I ask you about, like, I kind of mentioned it with Siwoo. Ryan Gerard is another one of those names. Guys that got a little taste of success at the PGA Championship, didn't win it, but weren't projected to have good, strong finishes, but did. Isn't that kind of like a sense of maybe that's a momentum builder, and Ryan Gerard's one of those names where they can build off of that this week?
I think it is. I mean, you see, like, his game. First of all, he's been really good this year. I mean, he's been great in Texas.
I don't want to knock. He has been good. Yeah, absolutely.
Houston Open, he finished 9th. Valero, he finished 2nd. I mean, like, you just see a guy like tee to green is a stud. I mean, gained 10.8 to the field last week in tee to green. It's like he gains every week off the tee. He's a really good approach player. His one weakness is putting. And I just think, like, a guy like him, he's kind of in that next tier of, like, younger guys that I could see really taking off. So I like him a lot this week, even though it's his first time there. A couple other guys. I like Thor too. I agree with you on that one. I kind of deep dove into him a little bit just because he's interesting to me. Like, his approach game is awesome. He's 5th in the field in greens and regulation. I mean, if he can putt even a little bit this week, I really like Thor a lot this week. It's kind of like a low-owned sleeper guy.
All right, Steven, your turn. Where are you at here in the 7K range?
I'm going to go back to another one of my guys, Emiliano. A winner.
I knew it.
I knew it.
I knew it. I know it.
But the ball striking, good course history. And this is the range too, where you can really find your value in course history guys who, putt makers who can then go surprise you and actually get T20, or in top 20, sort of range. And then another guy who actually, Ricky. I think this is one of those courses where you can kind of see him on that first page, or poking his head up on that first page sort of deal with course history. And then Matt McCarty, I like him on short courses. I know he's another one of those guys who doesn't have any course history. And there's a name in the 6K that I like who didn't have any course history last year, and he finished T5. And I think they're just some of those guys who just have that talent that you can, as long as they're in good form, you can forget about course history with some of those guys. And there's some more in this range, but I'll let you. I think you.
I mean, I love Christian Bezuidenhout. Seabass. Yep. I mean, 3 straight years top 21 or better at this event, and I know he hasn't had a great year. He did make the cut. He's made his last 3 cuts on tour. Not great finishes, but good enough. And again, course history matters. So Seabez is a guy that I like. There he is. Stewie. What's up, my man? Brian Campbell. Is he in the 7K range?
6, I think. Right?
6. Okay, so we haven't gotten down there. But Brian Campbell, I mean, we can talk about Brian Campbell since Stewie brings him up here. I just got to find his name on here somewhere. What's his price?
I think he's like 6'4".
Yeah, 6'4", yep.
Oh, I think that's kind of disrespectful, honestly.
He might be.
For Brian Campbell to be 64.
He's another guy that He's a guy that, I mean, short course and he could putt.
Yeah. good approach player, good around the green. Made 4 of his last 5 cuts. What's Brian Campbell's?
He's been golfing his ass off too. Like
Yeah.
the amount of events that he's been golfing. You see his
He hasn't
his
played here in
name
the
a
last
lot.
5 years, but yeah.
4th in the field on bent grass too, though.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I kind of feel like Brian Campbell with a win this year and how weak this field is. It's kind of disrespectful at 6,400 right there.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What happens? Let me pull up my DraftKings board here. Scottie Scheffler, and then you go Brian Campbell with your next click. That puts you at still under 7,500. Wow, that's how difficult it is to play Scottie Scheffler. You go Scottie Scheffler and Brian Campbell. It only puts you at 70 or 74, 75.
I'm shocked that Campbell's ownership's only at 6% right now. I thought it would be like 12, 15.
Yeah, I like the Brian Campbell pull there. But yeah, let me just check here on this 7K range here if I missed anybody else. Eric Cole, there's I knew there was a name I wanted to throw out there. Eric Cole kind of had one of those moments. There was a little stretch. He played well last week. Hasn't missed a cut since the Players. And where was Brian Cole? I think he's got
Bottom of the 7s.
Yeah, no, I'm looking on his different page here. He has missed the cut the last 2 years here, so that's the concern there with that. But he's playing really good golf at this point. So I don't know. Eric Cole's a name that I kind of like a little bit this week.
Another guy that I like a little bit this week that I don't think I've ever played in DFS, Pearson Cootie. 5th here last year. Game kind of fits the course.
Yeah, absolutely. Scottie doesn't make as much money as Coach Sirianni. He might make more, honestly, at this point. I think in 4 years he's made $75 million just in tournament earnings. So, Mr.
He's good.
Might be a little wrong on that one, to be brutally honest with you. All right, 6K range. If you're going to play Scottie, you got to play the 6K range. Steven, who's your top guy? You were hinting at a 6K guy. Who is it?
Mac Misner.
Oh, Mac Misner. Okay, gotcha.
Was T5 last year and didn't have any course history, and I think this is where you can build on that now course history off of T5. So I like him.
Very good though, recently, but obviously he wouldn't be. If he wouldn't be in the 6K.
But it can make the cut, right? I feel like these are the guys who you just need. And we already talked about Brian Campbell, and then another name that I like. He's not my favorite. I think he's one of your guys' favorites. I'll save it. But Lipsky, another guy who is not in good form. But check this out. Ready? So in 2013, he finished T16, but he missed the cut in his previous 2 events. To 2024. Finished T9, same exact thing. Missed the cut in his previous 2 events. So he's another guy where maybe he just likes this course. But I like him.
Okay. All right. Jason? Did we lose Jason?
No, I'm here.
Oh, your face is frozen. But there you're back. You're back. Your face is stuck in a very awkward position.
I think I was clicking too many things. I hate this range, to be honest with you. That's
why I hate this range, and you have to not play Scottie.
Exactly. That's my choice. I'm going to just kind of go through a few guys that I would sprinkle a little bit on. Like Ryder a lot, Norlander, but I think he's going to be super chalky, especially if you play Scottie. Chandler Phillips is probably my favorite play in this range.
I like the Sam Ryder call, best putter in the field over the last 36 rounds. So I think that's a good option.
Chandler Phillips is too talented to be in this range. I mean, look at his past results. CJ Cup 15th, Valero 18th, Houston Open 32nd. I mean, like the dude's just gains across the board. So I like him a lot this week. Favorite sleeper.
Absolutely. I kind of feel like you, I think you got to skip Scottie and skip the 7K range because you want 6 out of 6. And there's too much unknown in this range, honestly. Go ahead, Steve.
So I had Ryder on my list too until I dove deep. He's never made the cut here.
He's been awful here.
And it's not like you can really examine his current form because he's so scarce. And yeah, he does. He has the tools. But he's always had the putter, right? He's always had that putter. That's always, been his specialty. And so, like, if you've always had that and you've never made the cut here, I was like, dang. And so that's why I pivoted to Kuchar. Course history, short game specialist. Get Ryder out of here and give me the Cooch.
Give you the Cooch. The Cooch is loose. Steven loves the Cooch. But let's clip that one out.
Want more Cooch.
Oh, by the way, I didn't realize Ryder hadn't made the cut here. I'm out on him.
Yeah, 5 of 5 at least is all I know about.
Yeah.
That's
I was wondering
no
why
bueno.
I had him squiggled out.
Gotcha. Have lots of Burger. My pick to win.
Yeah.
I love it, and yeah, I mean, I bet him to win as well. I don't know if he's my favorite bet to win, but I do like Burger a lot this week. What's that?
Seems like the perfect course if you can putt.
Yeah, it seems like a perfect course. All right, guys, you're watching Fairway to Heaven right here on the STT Sports Network. There's double-digit people watching right now on the YouTube page. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that share button. We're going to get into our lineup build here in a second. We're going to get into our one and dones in a moment. Let's just pull up real quick graphic here. Where we stand after the PGA Championship in our head-to-head battle. Jason got back on the win streak there to take the lead in the DFS Weekly. Steven, you really got to do some work, man. You are falling far behind. And thanks to me, Patrick Reed missing the cut, we are all pretty much neck and neck in the one and dones now. So this is where we stand in one and dones in the DFS Weekly contest right here. Not great.
I think I had my first good week in one and done in about 6 weeks, probably, or more.
You had Bryson, right?
I had Bryson, yeah.
Yeah, that's why right there. All right, let's take that off the board. Let's get back to the other overlay right there. Thank you very much, Stewie. We greatly appreciate it. Mista saying this is a family program, so don't talk about the cooch that you like there, Steven, please. Stay away from the cooch. It's a family show. All right. So lineups. So Jason, you won. So what's the order this week?
It's gonna go Phil, Steve, me. Sorry, bud. Sorry, buds.
Phil, Steve. Again, I did it again. I wrote me instead of Jason. When you said Phil, Steve, me, I wrote Phil.
I want Phil to make the choice for us on Scottie.
Yeah, exactly. Winner this week gets the Taylor Gooch Ashford.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that he withdrew, or like he walked off and didn't finish. Why didn't he finish? Did he get hurt? Was he that far behind?
He was that far behind, yeah.
Yeah.
He's another guy.
Is it?
Yeah,
do we rather say the cooch is loose or the gooch is loose? What's better there? The gooch. All right. All right. So I get to go first in my DraftKings build. So I'm just going to take Mr. Two Gloves, Aaron Rye, with my first pick.
Ooh, nice pick.
Nice pick.
I'll say this with that pick. If I'm going to go super chalky, Rye's the guy I feel most confident in finishing in the top 5 to, I think his floor and ceiling is the closest.
Yeah. Agreed.
Just so you know, that's my opinion there on Aaron Rye.
Steve's going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a win. Scottie.
Is it Scottie?
Yeah, Scottie.
Good luck. Good
I'm just going to go. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom here for my next picks later on.
Scroll down to Corey Pavin at 6K. And
Corey Pavin. I really did look at Corey Pavin and be like, Matthew. Oh, no, that's not him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go.
His next 2 picks are going to be Corey Pavin and Webb Simpson, basically.
Hey,
sorry.
Around the green specialist, Webb Simpson. I'm going to go Chandler Phillips with my first pick. Little value. And I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go Berger.
Value and the heights there. I like that. Okay, there you go.
All right. I'm going to go because he's probably one of the only guys I can get in this price range. Where is he at? Zoonhoot.
It's a good pick.
I don't think that really helps you. You're still overpriced now.
Yeah, but he's probably going to be my second highest. That's why.
He's going to
have to go with someone.
I'm just pissed because I was just going to take him right there. So that just kind of pisses me off a little bit. But that's okay. Because a guy I didn't talk about much here, but I bet him to win, and I actually do like him this week a lot. I'll go Alex Smalley with my first pick, and I'll go with I already got it in my hand. Thor with my second pick.
Thorborn Ornson.
Yeah, I'm not even trying.
I think I nailed
that.
I think you have
too congested to say that name.
Yeah, you have to say their full name.
No, Thor. I went like this. Dude, I'm in the middle of my flu game, okay? All right, there was Jordan, there was Pete Sampras, and then there was this guy, okay?
Phil, the week of the Charles Schwab. I'm going to go. We just talked about him. Oh, wait, no. No, we didn't just talk about him. I thought you guys were going to say him. I'm going to go Putnam.
Putnam.
Andrew Putnam. Yep.
A little chalky for my taste in that range, but in this kind of a contest, that's not bad.
I'm gonna go English and Gerard.
Nice.
We got some good balanced lineups here. Okay. All right, Steven, back on the clock here.
All right, and we did just now talk about him. Who I'm going to pick? I'm going to pick Brian Campbell.
There you go. Getting cheap. All right, so I'm on the clock, and I like this. I like how this is playing out for me. We're going to go Harry Hall. Oh, we're going to go with a sneaky play this week. What?
You fucker.
Oh, again, Mista said this is a family program.
Sorry.
And then I'm going to go Michael Kim with my next pick.
Oh, you literally just took the two guys.
Oh, wow. Hit him with the double whammy.
You dick.
Hey, I can't help myself.
I hope you choke on your fucking marshmallow coffee or whatever you're having.
Oh my God. Mushroom coffee, not marshmallow. Mushroom coffee.
I know.
Okay?
I'm kidding. I just like that you said,
I'm choking on a lot of stuff right now. I'm holding a lot of mucus in.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go Kuchar. Put my money where my mouth is.
I don't know what to do. Phil just took both of my picks. Unbelievable.
I'm just going to tell you, Steven, your lineup sucks ass right now. Just so
Thank you.
Yeah. Kuchar, Campbell, Putnam. Yeah, terrible. It's going to be 6 for 6, and it's going to win another. Yes.
I'm going to be a little aggressive here, actually. I'm going to go JT Poston.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go down to my man, Ricky Castillo.
Ricky Castillo.
Castillo. It's weird, yeah. It's a weird pronunciation.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were just being
No, that's really how you say it.
Gotcha.
All right, last pick. I'm going to go Siwoo.
I can't believe.
See, now, do you feel better? Because that's who I was about to pick, okay?
I can't believe you picked Michael Kim and Hall. That hurts.
I'm just curious how he managed to fit Scottie and Siwoo Kim in the same lineup. Ricky Castillo. All right, so Siwoo's off the board. English is off the board. All right, we'll go Ben Griffin. I haven't played Ben Griffin in a while, so we'll go Ben Griffin.
Nice.
All right, not a bad lineup right there. I like my balanced lineup right there. Nobody over under 7,700. No one over 9,100. I think that's the way to go this week. Personally, that's my opinion. All right,
no one over 1,400 for me, and no one below 62. So I like it.
I like it.
I love it. All right, one and done. We are all neck and neck now. So who do we go with this week? What order are we picking?
You're going to go first. You're going to go second. I'm going to go third.
All right, so I'm going first, you said?
No, second.
Oh, okay, sorry. I got to look at
I'm going first. Here. All right. I am going to go with JT Poston.
The postman.
Sorry, I'm looking at all my bets this week and see if I've used them.
I need to go back and look to see if I used somebody.
Yeah. I have. All right, we're going Aaron Rye here. I have not used Aaron Rye yet, so
nice. That was a good one.
We're going to go Aaron Rye this week. Kind of shocked I haven't used Aaron Rye.
Can I just tell you what Jamie just texted me?
Uh-oh.
She said, Phil, ... what a gooch. Oh, that's good stuff. I'm going to go, I was going to go Aaron Rye.
Captain of the DTM. Yeah. Just got a new leader.
I was going to go Aaron Rye, but I'm going to, shit. I'll go English.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. I just want to shout out my bets real quick this week. Then you guys could do it. I've got bets on Berger at 25-1, Aaron Rye at 30-1, Michael Kim 60, Mav McNeely at 32.5-1, and then both Alex Smalley and Seabez both at 90-1. They are my bets right there. We're definitely making sly innuendos, Mister. Obviously. I mean, that is what we do. We make more dirty jokes here than I do in the morning, just so you know. Jason, what are your bets? What's your betting card look like?
It's kind of disgusting. I have Rye 35-1. I have Glover 70-1. I have Gerard 70-1. I have Ricky Fowler without Scottie 75-1. I did a little parlay with Scottie. Scottie to win, Gerard top 10 at 21-1. That's probably my most likely to hit bet right there.
All right. And Steven, what do you got?
Griffin 60-1, JT 45-1, Siwoo in English 40-1, and then Aaron Rai 30-1. I want to do like a Scottie and whatever NBA playoff game it is Sunday, and then the Phillies game on Sunday, and see whatever I get. But that's the only thing I can
like
think
those.
of with Scottie to do.
Yeah,
to
no,
make
I
it
mean,
fun.
whenever I parlay a winner with like top 20s, I never hit them. But I see a lot of people doing that, picking a golfer, parlaying it with another event. That's always
Yeah.
a fun one.
I did that last year. I hit Scottie 3 different times when I did like Scottie plus somebody else hitting top 10.
Yeah, I can't hit that ever. All right, so real quick, since we're saying Scottie, there's a poll. There's only 5 votes on it because you guys suck and nobody's actually voting on the poll. But you know, Scottie Scheffler winning the PGA Championship in non-dramatic fashion and no emotion really, no excitement really. I asked the question, is Scottie Scheffler the most boring star championship athlete ever? And the only name I could come up with that might be as boring or more boring is Tim Duncan, who was the most boring NBA champion, NBA MVP of all time. Scottie Scheffler and Tim Duncan, they're the 2 most boring championships of all, or champion stars of all time. Jason, what do you got on this one?
First of all, the big fundamental. Come on, that's not boring. It's good stuff.
I mean, but your nickname is the Big Fundamental. That is as boring as it gets.
With the turnaround bank shots from 5 feet away. Come on.
The most simple game, but it worked.
I think compared to Duncan, I think Scottie's actually exciting. Scottie.
I mean, show your shirt, right? I mean, that's what everybody tells me. Scottie
he's been arrested. He's a what do they call it? A new man. He came out a new man. He turned his life around big time.
Yeah.
No, I
think
think
many people get a second chance in life after the behind bar.
Spiked his hat down when he won. He's got a little baby, which I don't know if you guys saw that the first time that Bennett Scheffler ever stood up was on the 18th green. That kid's gonna win. He's gonna win the U.S. Open for sure.
Yeah, he is.
I know.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh man. All right. So who's the most boring person to you then, Jason? That's a championship athlete, superstar.
It's Duncan, and I wish I could come up with something else, but I can't think of somebody that's as boring as him.
No, a lot of people said Wayne Gretzky and Kawhi Leonard on the morning show. I didn't watch enough hockey in Wayne Gretzky's prime to really know that. But also, I don't know. I mean, his face was everywhere. You know what I mean? Scottie's face isn't anywhere. You know what I mean? Right. So I don't know if I buy that one at all. T.O. was not the most.
Who else would be on the list, you guys think?
I can't come up with anybody else on the list. I can't, Steven.
So I forgot that you had said champion because I was going to say Mike Trout. But then when you said champion, I was I
did say champion, and he's
so I was like,
the most disappointing guy there.
So what about then? You got to start thinking then maybe like tennis, like Pete Sampras.
Are you reading my list? Like 20 minutes ago, I wrote a tennis name down here.
Yeah,
I legitimately wrote a tennis name down. Who
Mystery here? Here we go. Pete Sampras?
No, Pete Sampras showed energy. I wrote down Roger Federer.
Okay, yeah. What about like Jimmy Johnson in NASCAR?
What's NASCAR?
Is that the thing where we're making a left turn, brother?
Left turns over and over again.
Hey, I thought of one that's he's not a champion, but kind of in the same ilk as Mike Trout, Barry Sanders. Like the dude didn't speak.
Yeah,
weird.
But again, not a champion.
Not a champion. No.
I wrote down. I think Pete Sampras showed some emotion and fire. Also, U.S. Open. What year was that? 95 with the flu game, the flu match right there. At the U.S. Open. I was a big tennis guy back in the day, but I think Stevens. I thought there was a new camera back here or something. Maybe you're watching what I'm writing down here or something like that. Jeff Gordon. I don't know if he was boring or not. Yeah,
just a douchebag.
I just know that I know nothing about NASCAR, but I was working at a restaurant for a while. And we used to have all these guests come into the bar to watch NASCAR every Saturday or whenever it was. And I just knew how much I could say, I'm rooting for Jeff Gordon, and it would piss everybody at the bar off. Did everybody hate him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why, but everybody hated him.
My uncle's buddies with him, actually. It's just funny because he worked for DuPont, which was his biggest sponsor. But if you didn't work for DuPont or work on his team, you hated him pretty much.
Okay.
But that's polarizing, so I wouldn't say boring, because if you hate the guy,
if you're polarizing, you're not boring.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Tim Duncan was more entertaining after he retired when I found out he was like a UFC and kickboxer or whatever. I was like, God damn.
I don't know if there's any boring kickboxers or fighters out there, you know? So, yeah. I mean, I could throw Lance Storm out there, but I bet you 99.9% of the people don't even know who Lance Storm is, but
what about any other golfers?
WCW, WWE wrestler, mainly in the 90s and early 2000s. So
golfers, yeah.
Golfers,
Ernie Els.
Yeah.
I guess maybe.
I know who's not going to be boring after he wins this week. It's Matt Kuchar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Cooch is loose. And with that, let's wrap it up with a Cooch is loose comment right there. Guys, everybody watching, thank you very much for tuning in here. Fairway to Heaven on the STT Sports Network. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe live every Tuesday night here. Next week, the birthday boy put in his PTO. Have not approved it yet, but I'll probably give in and give the birthday boy his PTO. But we'll have Rashad filling in for him next week. So everybody have a great Tuesday. Let's enjoy the Charles Schwab. For Jason, for Steven, I'm Phil Stifle. Let's make some money this week, guys, and have a great one. Bubbles up.